Hey guys, it is time to look through 6 months in my reading journal and look how thick it got. Oh my god. I'd still like to fit in the rest of the year in here. I am not sure if that will happen, but I will deal with that when I will have to deal with that. I just filmed my June reading wrap up, so we now have full 6 months in here. So let's just go into it. This is the first page. I never write my name in here. I don't do it. This is the cover page. I really like what I did here. And here are my yearly challenges or yearly lists. This is my rating system. I use Copile. It is quite true to what I usually think the book should be rated. And here, read my shelf challenge. These are all the books I had on my bookshelf prior to 2024. I am trying to read as many of those as possible this year, and when I do, I color in this circle. This maybe does not seem like that many, but it is an effort, guys, it is an effort. And I am planning on reading quite a few more this year. I can't wait to see how it will look at the end of the year. Here we have reading tracker, and I have read much more than 38 books, but I only mark here full novels. No novellas, no short stories, no mangas or webtoons, just full novels. I love this paper so much. It looks super cute here. This is my series tracker that I abandoned because I don't like how I did this. I just don't use it anymore. I'll have to figure out something different for next year. Here is the A to Z reading challenge. Titles are getting quite full, and it is not as bad with authors. Again, beautiful paper. It's so pretty, these ones. Here we have red versus both, and I wish I've used different highlighters here, but it was at time when I have not had these beautiful muted highlighters, so I went with what I had, and I mean, it is okay. Here I track number of books I read versus bought for each month. And at the end of the year, I will just total it here. And so far, I am definitely reading more than buying, which is quite nice to see. Here is a video idea spread, totally abandoned it. This probably won't be in my next reading journal. I absolutely love this spread. Book of the year of 2024. So it is a bracket system, and I will decide between each 2 months which book is better, and then it will all show me the best book of the year. It is not the best system because there can be months where I honestly can't decide what book was the best, and there are some months where I did not have that much luck. So it is not the best system, but it is certainly entertaining. And I have not chose a better one from these two because I can't decide, and I am thinking about it still. And these two as well. These are such a different vibe, and I loved each of those for different reasons. So honestly, I can't decide. But I am quite enjoying having this bracket here, so I think it might appear next year, it might not, I am not sure yet. Here are pages where I will add all the book covers for all the books read in 2024, and I have 6 pages here. I am not filling it yet because I don't know how many books I will finish by the end of this year. So I will do that later when I know how many books there are and how many I should fit on the page. I am sure it will be done by the time the full yearly flip-through comes. Stay tuned for that, I guess. Okay, and here we go into January. I got this beautiful washi tape and I wanted to use as much of it as possible. I saw someone on Instagram doing this system where they write down all the books they read and mark dates they read them. I like that idea. I went with it and I like it. I like it so much. But I did a small twist with it, and that is that I number each book, and these numbers are not being like start again every month. They are just going to continue, and I will see by the end of the year to which number we get. Here is the list of 7 books I read during January, but you can see only 5 of those have these numbers filled in, and these are the books I actually finished. These unfilled ones are the ones I am still continuing in the next month or months. Because I had a lot of free space here, I just added the days of reading, and you can see I listen to audiobooks quite a lot. I read physically a little less, but it is still quite a lot to juggle with YouTube and full-time job in everything. And here are spreads and pages for all the books I finished. I usually try to match the spread to the cover color, and I am not always successful, but I really like how this spread turned out. I went with these stickers from Sticky Club, and they are so pretty. I finished one series already in January, and this is a series I started and I really want to continue. I just haven't had time to do so. Next we have Beyond the Wand. I listened to the audiobook narrated by Tom Felton and it was okay. Here is, I started another series, The Legend of the First Empire, and I finished this whole series in 5 months. It is 6 books long. I quite liked it and I like this spread I made for it. It is so cute. And again, these spreads were different tonally, but I just added this washi tape along both pages and I think it brought them together. And here is the best book I read in January, and I had so much to say about it. I added one more paper to fit in everything, and cute little statistics page. I love doing statistics, but I was quite unhappy with the colors because again I did not have the muted highlighters yet, and it just looks totally different to everything so far. But I mean it's cute. All of these circles are free-handed, so they are a bit crooked, but that is okay. This was January. Now we go into February and look at this mess. It is so full and I love it so much. I used note papers and book pages and quite a few stickers. And I added these frames. And I printed these titles on clear sticker paper because I can't write like this, okay? So I chose the easier road and it looks gorgeous. Here once again we have quite a few books I finished and few I did not. And as you can see, I am continuing these numbers throughout the year. And this book we will see for quite a while here. I think this is one of my favorite cover pages. So full and chaotic. Once again, all the books I finished and I quite liked this Starling House. It got 5 stars from me. I don't think I would rate it 5 stars now, but it was a good book, despite some things I was not happy to see. I added lots of quotes and lots of text and lots of stickers. And when you see pictures or something like that, they are usually from Unsplash. And I just got these 3 root stickers and I love them. So I decided to use so many of those here as well. Okay, here is the second book in the Legends of the First Empire series. Here. So this is the second book from the series. I just made it small this time because I felt like I did not need big spread for it, so I just have it here, and I also read Hamlet and I quite liked it, despite me reading it in English, and English is not my first language, so it was a tough read, and I was not able to read more than few pages a day, but I quite liked it. It is one of a few classics I actually enjoyed. And then we have 10,000 Stitches. It is the second book in the Regency fairy tale series. These are one of very few romance or romantasy books I enjoy. So I made a one-page spread for it. I had these beautiful washi tapes that look like stitch thread, so I use those here, and I added this here. Next we have, oh my god, I love this page. So I made this paper in Canva, and I just used a bunch of skeletons they had there and arranged them on the page and printed it out, and I think it looks quite nice. A few quotes in here, and I had a lot to say about this book. And this is the art book. I think it is the only art book I have read this year so far, and I definitely should read more because I have so many. I just organized my bookshelf and they take up to almost two bookshelves, the thinner ones, the 40 centimeter ones, but that is a lot of art books, guys. So I also used stickers from the Kickstarter campaign, and they are quite old. I've had this book for quite a while, so they are not sticking as much anymore, but I can just add a little more glue and it is okay. Here is my statistic page, again this beautiful font, and I also added this frame in here to tie it up with this. In March, I joined Realmaton. It's a monthly long reading challenge, and I made this spread for it. So you have to open it, and here is the calendar and all the books I read and all the points I got. And here on the sides I have all the prompts we got, and I have numbers only on this side because I read only for positive prompts because the negative ones were not suitable for what I read. I was a team Shadows. There were 4 teams and we each read and competed against each other, and it was quite fun. I listened to The Third Eye by Felicia Day on Audible, and I quite enjoyed this book. It was interesting and funny, and she used lots of tropes but used them completely differently than you'd think. It was quite interesting. Tempest of Tea was, on the other hand, quite a letdown. So let's just go to the next page. I was trying a different layout this time, and it is minimalistic and easy in terms of style, but the amount of time it takes me to decide on washi tapes. I listened to the Court of Thorns and Roses and Court of Mist and Fury, and by this ranking you can see I am not a big fan. I usually don't like overly hyped books, and I was like, the second book was a bit better, but I don't know, guys, it is not for me. And next we have the Library of the Unwritten. It was interesting, but when I finished it, I realized there are I think two more books in the series, and I am not sure I am that interested in it. Maybe I will read the rest, maybe I won't. I am not sure yet. Okay, here we have another letdown. I think this was the biggest letdown of the year so far for me. Fate Inked in Blood started like a 5-star read and it just plummeted down. By the end of it, I was so sick of the main character. Yeah, it was a lost time, totally lost time. I am still angry at this book. Here is look at this chicken, so cute. So this is the manga. In English it's called The Way of the House Husband, and I had a great time with this. Me and my friend, we bought first 6 volumes and we donated it to the first ever manga reading room that has opened in our town. I think maybe in the country, I'm not sure. We quickly read all of those and bring those there. I also listened to the Phantom of the Opera and I found quite a short version of it. So I listened to that and I was so glad it was so short. It was, I don't know, it was, I think all of these characters were quite one-dimensional. Then I read White Knights and it was a disaster. I mean, this book has only 100 or so pages, and I was incredibly bored in those 100 pages. Only 1.5 star. I think it is quite generous from me still. So here is more manga and webtoons. I read first 2 volumes of Solo Leveling. I quite like this. And this is manga Brutal, and it sounded promising, but it's the same thing over and over, and I finished at 3 volumes and I don't think I will ever continue. Here we have my statistics spread, and here you can see how the colors can make or break the page. So bad. After I made this spread, I got those matte highlighters, so all the other spreads will be much better. But this is just too much, guys. In April, I took part for the first time in Magical Readathon and I had such a great time. This is the official map and I just added the spring equinox sign and I was inspired by this page and I made this for my cover page. Once again we have a list of everything I read and calendar. Do you see these highlighters, these colors? These are so much prettier and way more suitable for my style. I was so happy I finally got these. So this is the cover and here are books I read. This is, I think, the only middle grade book I have read this year and it was quite enjoyable. I think I might read the second book in the series soon. And I remember I used full sticker sheet on this page because I had just a few stickers left and I was like, to hell with it, just use them all. So here it is and I love this sticker sheet. These are so pretty. And here is the page for Hero the Ninth. I almost DNF'd this book but I finished it. I was interested to see how it ends. There is still one more book in the series and honestly I don't know. I don't know if I want to subject myself to that. So yeah. Here are quite simple pages. The Art of Prophecy. It was quite okay, but not what everyone was saying it was about. Everyone says it's about a prophesized hero that is quite spoiled and then there comes the master in the arts and she starts teaching him, and yeah, that was like the first 1 or 2 chapters and then it got completely different. It was quite disheartening for me, but in the end I quite enjoyed this book, so I want to continue with the series. And here is the Justice of Kings. It was also quite enjoyable, but it took a lot of time for this book to establish what's going on and why are we where we are and what are the characters. But again, I'd like to continue the series. And here is my completely out of hand spread for Dungeon Crawler Carol. I just put here anything. And here I read Legion by Brandon Sanderson. It is a novella, so it is not that long and it was quite okay. I am not sure 4.5 stars. I mean, I was quite generous. But anyway, it was okay. And here is the first volume of the Witch Hat Atelier and I quite enjoyed it. And here is, I think, my favorite statistic spread ever. I mean, look at this. It is so pretty. And again, I made these little titles in Canva and printed them out, cut them by hand. It was a lot of work, but well worth it, don't you think? It is so pretty. In April, I was part of Escape the Readathon, and I made this foldable circus and this sign, and I am pretty proud of that. I still should finish this, but knowing myself, I probably never will. But yeah, it took a lot of work, guys. A lot of work, but I like that I made something different, and it turned out quite okay. On the next page, we have the... Oh, it got stuck. Oh my god. Yeah. So this is the map. We had different teams, and each team was trying to open as many buildings as possible, and when you got into the building you get a few more prompts and you decide for which one you want to read, and it was a lot of fun. We got to almost all of the buildings, and here is the pocket with all the tickets, and there is a name of the building on each ticket and books I read for each of them. And these tickets were made by Manda Made. I will link her in the description below. She also does reading journal videos, and her journals are so pretty, and she was gracious enough to let me use these tickets and change the color as I want it. I am so thankful to her. And here for the hard hitter, I had quite a few more books I read for this, but I just chose the best ones. Okay. And here is again a list of everything I read. I read a lot of manga and webtoons, so this list is pretty long, and I finally finished the book I started in January, so that is nice. I printed this in Canva and added some washi and beautiful stickers from Sticky Club just to not have this page so empty. Okay, and here is absolutely this is, I mean, wow, this is absolutely unhinged spread for City of Nightmares, because you can become your own nightmare anytime, and the nightmare can be anything. So I just put here any sticker I thought would fit. So yeah, it is a lot, but I mean, I love this spread so much, and I love this book, and I already bought the second one, and I want to read it maybe in August or September. I'm not sure, but I will definitely read the second book by the end of this year, because I quite enjoyed that. Here is the spread for all the rest of the Legends of the First Empire series. The same one I keep referring to. I started in this one that I started in January. So I started reading this in April and I finished this in a few days in June. So I decided to just have it all here to avoid making another spread for this series. I love how this looks. I am so proud of myself for making this one, and I definitely recommend this series. Here are the next few books in the Legion series by Brandon Sanderson. I again went mayhem with stickers, but some of them are related to these stories, so it is not completely out of the blue. I listened to the Torn Hedge by T. Kingfisher, and I was not that big of a fan, so I made just a little spread for it. And the Hex Life, it's collection of short stories about witches, and some of the short stories were absolutely incredible and some were completely not my cup of tea. You might have noticed for the books I enjoyed, I made 1 page or even full 2-page spread, and for the books I do not enjoy as much, I just make these little entries just to have them here, but if I were to do a full page for them, it would be just ranting and being angry at the book or the author. Look at this. So pretty, so cute. Okay, next we have Magic Step in Poison. I enjoyed this book so much and I was so happy I finally liked a young adult book with this beautiful cover. I read quite a few books with amazing, astounding covers, but they were just not my style. I used stickers by Marigona Sully and they are so nice. Here is the page for Dívka ze země venku. It's the girl from the other side in English, I think. And I just added a bunch of darker, vintagey stickers, and it is not the best page I made, but it is not the worst either. I mean, if we covered this, I think it's pretty nice. But this is just, I don't know, a mess. As you can see, I continued reading Solo Leveling and I read 4 volumes in 1 month, which is quite a lot for me. There are not that many mangas or webtoons that can hold my attention for that long. And here is the book I was reading for 4 months. It is historical nonfiction about Peter the Great, the Russian emperor, and with the state of the world right now, I was not in a mood, but I finished it. I am so glad I finally did. And yes, here are my statistics. I went for 3 pages this time. Again, circle graphs, and I added mini tickets in black and added some stats in here as well. I went for this purple theme, purple and pink, and I just added a bunch of stickers to fill in the space. I love this sticker. I've had this for quite a while. This was May. Now it is June and I just finished this. Like 2 days ago. I am quite proud about how this turned out. I had this packing paper, so I decided to use that for my background. And again, list of books I read and the calendar. And look at this beautiful sticker by Isabella. It is so pretty. I will have links to all the stationery I use in the description. Here I had no idea what to do with the spread, so I just added watercolor and called it a day. And the reason why I didn't know what to do with this spread is because I did not quite enjoy what I read at the beginning of the month. So as you can see, there are 2 stars, 2.5 stars. It was so. And I added Mother of Learning here because it was blue and I just wanted to continue the color theme, so I just added this one here. It was better, but I don't think I can listen to more of this. It is about time travel and I figured I don't like time travel books as much, so yeah. Here is one of my favorite spreads again, and it is Raven Boys and Dream Thieves. It is so cute. And again, I made this in Canva and I used pictures from Unsplash. I read Dream Thieves now in July, but I decided to have both of these here, so I just have it in one spread and won't have to think about what next to do with this in July. So yeah, and all of these are printed on clear label paper, and this all got stuck together when I closed the page. So you can see this got ripped apart, but it kind of fits the vibe. So to prevent pages from sticking, I just printed quotes from the books and I just put them here. And I have also printed a Polish version from the Raven Boys, because look at this cover. It's so pretty. And I was thinking about also getting Polish versions because, I mean, stunning. The Raven Boys, and here we have the last two books, and these are Sight and Darker Shade of Magic, and I put them together in one spread because they both are red and black with other colors in as well. I added this little side in here and this tarot card and a bunch of stickers as well to fill in the page. For the Shade of Magic again, and I filled in everything with flowers. Don't know why, it felt right. I am also quite happy with these pages. And the reading stats for June, there are few less than usually, but I think it is okay. I did not need to track more this month. I quite like this color theme. And this is, I don't think I have shown anyone yet, mid-year reading statistics. I just made them yesterday. It is a lot. It is quite overwhelming page, but when you start looking closer, I have the main genre. Of course, the most read genre for me is fantasy. Believe it or not, I started 25 new series. 25. And I finished 5. So at least that's at least something. And I read 9 standalones. Here is my book length. And I read quite a few smaller books, a few bigger ones, which I'm so happy about. I mean, last year I read quite a few of these extra big books. Quite a few of them were over 1,000 pages. This year it is not that many, but I am reading more, I think. I made this big pie chart for all the cover colors, and of course black and blue. These are books I am drawn to the most, or book covers I am drawn to the most. And here is just overall stats. So books finished 61, pages read over 10,000, which is crazy, and hours listened 270, which is also crazy. So yeah, this was my reading journal. Should we do one more flip through without me talking much? let's just do it quickly. I hope you had a great time. I hope you got inspired, and let me know in the comments if you have a reading journal or if you think about having a reading journal. I'd love to know. I've seen so many beautiful reading journal spreads over the years, and I truly enjoy watching people doing their reading journal spreads and talking about books. There will be a playlist with all of my reading journal spreads in the description, so if you'd like to see some of these spreads closer, or if you'd like to hear more about some of these books, there will be links in the description. Bye guys, see you in the next one.